time to choose it and lose it. Rose Reisman teaches us what we can and maybe should not eat when we go out and we do our shopping.
Right.
We got to talk about sugar.
Okay, so
it's
sugar,
not good for you.
Sugar can be toxic. Now, I want you to know I have sugar every day in something because I have a sugar addiction. Also, it's often caused by the manufacturers and the restaurants who put sugar into things.
Absolutely.
But just take a look here at these ingredients.
Before we even go any further, you have the addiction, I have the addiction.
Yeah.
Since Jordy's out there, let's have a show of hands. How many people are the sweet? Who are the sweet people? Just own it.
Yeah.
That is okay.
Yeah.
You just got to figure out a way to do it,
and we're
going to
do it here, absolutely. And it's remember, it's sugar, fat, and salt, the three biggest addictive things that are in all the foods we see.
Right.
So take a look here. It's everything from cereals to like energy drinks to Asian sauces to these supposed healthy granola bars. They all have so much sugar in there that now I'm going to talk about how much sugar you should have in your day and what we are consuming.
Okay.
All right. So daily, the average person consumes, if you can look here, 28 cubes or teaspoons of sugar.
This is how much we're having every day.
So we're not sure how to put that in perspective yet, all right? Every month you're having 2 of these bags
of sugar.
Okay. Every day what you should be having is 8 teaspoons. Every month, half a bag.
Some people are having 8 teaspoons in their 1 cup of coffee.
You got it. You got it. Double doubles when you're right.
Yep.
So keep that in your brain right now, what you should be having, and let's take a look at some of the products I've brought on to show you what you are eating. All right.
So cereal.
So cereal, right now I'm just starting out with a good one here, which is the Rice Krispies. So Rice Krispies, 2 cups of it. They always tell you half a cup. Nobody ever eats half a cup.
No.
You usually have a good serving, right? 220 calories, 6 grams of sugar, which is 1.5 cubes or 1.5 teaspoons. Really, really good.
That is super low in sugar there.
Okay, so now let's take a look at some of these ones that are mueslis or mueslis or granolas, and they look and they sound really healthy. They've got dried nuts and almonds and all this stuff in it. But 2 cups here comes in at 635 calories with 30 grams.
That's high calorie too.
Well, 30 grams of sugar, which is 7 cubes. And my attitude is, I know someone might say, well, Rose, that's not a portion size on the box, but I see what people eat. They usually never eat the portion size. So to your Rice Krispies, add some dried fruits, some nuts, some fresh berries, some Greek yogurt, and you're still keeping the sugar down.
It's the granola in there as well. The
so
granola is super
People
duper
think
sweet.
it's really healthy, and people gain a lot of weight eating granola.
Well, we even call healthy people granolas.
Granolas.
We shouldn't.
No, we shouldn't. That's right.
Call them
Absolutely
proteins.
Not. Proteins
I don't know.
or
call them something else, because granola's not that healthy for you.
Now, this one I love. So we're going to Baskin & Robbins, and everyone loves a milkshake. And we tend to think if we have a vanilla milkshake versus a chocolate or the, fudgy ones, we're doing a lot better.
Right.
Are you sitting? Yes, you are. All right. We have got here a vanilla shake that comes in at 1,440 calories. That is the entire day for a woman. Even if you work out.
Pizza.
So, well, this one shocked me because I used to let my kids go there and have it, and they'd finish half of it. I'd finish the other half.
Right, 500 calories
equivalent
each. Call it a day.
39 cubes or teaspoons of sugar in that ice cream, right there, vanilla.
Goodness.
And why? Because there's so much ice cream in there. But believe it or not, you could end up having 2 scoops of vanilla ice cream that's going to fill you up for all of 300 calories versus a 1440 and only 8 teaspoons.
What makes that
so
much sweeter than ice cream? Is it just the sheer volume?
The amount. So if you want to get a milkshake, go to the real tiny one. That's a large, but you're probably getting 4 or 5 scoops in there, if not more, and it's packed down and it's blended. The minute you blend ice cream or anything, it becomes much smaller.
That's right.
So you know what? Just because it's vanilla doesn't mean you're consuming less sugar, but look at all the sugar for your day. So is there any wonder? Obesity, diabetes type 2, different kinds of cancer,
it's an uphill
heart and stroke disease.
Because this is what's out there, and the ads are coming, and you think to yourself, yeah, I want a milkshake. What's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
But you're probably going to feel more satiated if you have the ice cream anyway.
And just 1, not 2.
And just 1.
Right?
Like you'll feel good about that.
Then you're doing it well. All right.
Now this is a shocker.
This is a shocker. So you go into any of the, donut places, you got a muffin. It's a good. It's called Morning Glory. It's got bananas, carrots, all that stuff in there.
Healthy, right?
Sounds healthy. 440 calories. 38 grams of sugar, which equals 9 teaspoons of sugar in that one muffin. And this shocked some of our guests here today because you could end up having a French cruller for all of 160 calories.
You're telling me the cruller is better than the Morning Glory
and
muffin.
I hate to tell you, it's deep fried. Are you ready? Only 1 cube of sugar. So next time you're in the donut shop and you just say, you know what, nobody's looking. I don't want a yogurt. I want something better. you can have that.
It's go for the cruller.
Go for the cruller.
It's
All right.
less sugar than the Morning Glory muffin.
All right. Now,
muffins are cakes. That's what basically you have to see them as cake.
Yes, you do. And people think Morning Glory, carrot, muffin, pineapple.
You're having cake for breakfast.
You're having cake for breakfast.
That's
okay.
what you're doing.
So now President's Choice, they do some great products. Here is a key lime pie. And again, people assume lime, lemon, tart, not that much sugar.
Right.
For a good sized piece, this is about 1/6 of the pie. You're getting 466 calories. 45 grams of sugar, which is 12 teaspoons of sugar in that piece of pie.
That's a lot.
Okay, instead, good old Weston here puts out some beautiful mini chocolate eclairs, 6 of them for all of 270 calories versus a 466, but only 3 teaspoons of sugar in all of that.
I'd rather have that anyways.
They're delicious.
There's chocolate
I
on that.
I had to test them before I came in.
Yeah, of course you did.
But you know, but the difference is huge. And again, Tracy, for people to realize, sugar doesn't cause diabetes. It causes obesity. Obesity then leads to all these chronic diseases we're having. And that's why, like Mayor Bloomberg in the States was trying so desperately to ban the sugar drinks. He was right. It was like the milkshakes. It's the same thing.
Just know what you're putting in your mouth.
Know what you're putting in your body.
That's what you got to do. Thanks for watching. Let's go to break. We've got more coming up. About s'mores, okay? It's time for s'mores. So I look at this recipe because you're Rose Reisman and we're talking about s'mores.
Yeah.
And so I look at this cake and I think, how on earth is that healthy for me? I'm very excited that it's good for me.
Yeah, you're going to be shocked.
But please explain.
You're going to be shocked when I show you through all of this, because one is, I mean, dessert's never healthy. I'm not going to try to pretend that this is a whole grain cereal.
It's not an apple.
It's not an apple. But if you were to make this cake or have it in any restaurant, you'd be tripling the calories and the fat. And I'm going to show you why. And it has something to do with like the sugar that we talked about before and the fat and all of that.
Right.
So first of all, we are going to make a 2-layer chocolate cake.
S'mores chocolate layer
easy.
cake.
Chocolate layer cake. All right. And you're going to see the ingredients I'm using. All right, initially. So we've got some sugar in there. We're going to add 2 eggs. So far, so good.
Yeah.
We're going to add, all right, this is the thing. This is 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. Normally, in any cake this size, you'd be using at least 3/4 cup to a cup of butter or shortening or oil. So we've cut it back, and you're going to see how I'm able to cut the oil back. All right, we've mixed that up. Now to this, we're going to add a little bit of low-fat mayonnaise. And what this does is give you like a devil's chocolate food cake, all right? But the light mayo goes a long way and gives you that creaminess that a butter might.
Okay, but it's better for you than butter. What makes it better for you than butter?
Oh my goodness. Well, when you have a light mayonnaise, it's about reduced by 50%, whereas butter is pure saturated.
Okay.
Okay.
Good to know.
Here we have low-fat sour cream.
Okay.
So again, this is equivalent to about 3% sour cream. Regular is 14%. So again, you're saving a lot. Now, here's the key. You normally would be putting in about 1/2 pound of chocolate to this to make it chocolatey. I'm going to fool your taste buds. I've got cocoa here. Cocoa is chocolate without the cocoa butter. So I'm eliminating all the saturated fat, but I'm going to give you some chocolate.
Okay.
I'm going to give you all of about 1/4 cup of chocolate that's just got a little hot water that I've melted in a microwave. If I could tell you what I did this morning with this, I'll tell you. We're going to throw this in.
4 a.m. this morning.
I had it in my oven in a bag, in a plastic bag, and you know what? It stayed warm because, you know, I couldn't get it warm.
I don't think you can really go wrong with melted chocolate, though.
That is how you get the cake to be so chocolatey.
Oh, and it smells very chocolatey. Okay, so the trick then is you've used mostly cocoa.
Cocoa, a little bit of chocolate, so that I fooled your taste buds, Tracy. You've had it and you go, what did she do to me? She did something to me, I don't know what. All right. Now we're going to add in about 1 cup of flour with a little baking powder, baking soda. Okay. Voila, that's your cake. That comes in at least at 50 to 60% less calories and fat than a traditional devil's food cake, just by using the light mayo, the light sour cream, and the other ingredients. So you mix that up. We're then going to pour it in to 2 8-inch round pans or square pans, whatever you want.
So you got the 2 layers.
Yeah, and we don't have to do that now, but you're going to bake that just until, now you've got to be careful, when you're making a light cake, you can overbake easily. So really pay attention to my instructions, or check your oven as well. I always get people emailing me and saying, it didn't work. Oh, my oven was broken. Okay. So
CityLine.ca is where we put all of that information, by the way.
Excellent. So you're going to bake this for about 18 minutes until a texture in the middle comes out nice and clean.
Yes.
Okay. We've got 2 layers. Now we're going to have the fun. Are you ready? Oh, there we we're going to do some more.
For fun.
Reminds me of when I used to be up at the cottage with the kids. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take some chocolate again, but this time I'm making something called a ganache. And you know from some of your higher fat cooks that are on the show that, you know, that instead of adding...
send them a copy of this.
Instead of adding cream or butter, I've added 2% evaporated milk.
Yes, much better for you.
And you know what, guys? Coffee in the morning, this is what I put in my coffee every morning.
And it's nice and sweet. Do you put any, so that's your sweetener
that's my
and
sweetener
your milk.
because milk's got a little sugar in it. This is all I put in my coffee.
Okay.
So I have now melted this and it stayed soft.
Can I do the honors? Are you going to?
Oh, please, go ahead.
Okay, thank
you. And we're going to just put about half of that on. See, so I'm being a little stingy here. I'm not giving you big, thick layers, but just enough that every mouthful tastes chocolatey.
But so this is actually a good key with most things. With most things, you actually don't necessarily want the whole thing.
No.
You need a taste.
No. And you know when you go in for Devil's Food chocolate cake, there's this much icing on top, this much in the middle. All right, and we can do it over the sides, whatever you'd like. Okay,
that's
now
enough.
here's the fun.
I just can't stop.
Marshmallow has no fat, but there is sugar in here. But again, this cake is going to serve about 12 or 14 slices.
Is that a special kind of low anything?
No, because there's no fat. It's just sweet.
It's
not
just
bad.
sweet.
And it's better if you put this in the microwave for a little bit. But the nice thing, you see, that's where it gets a little tricky. But you pop it in the microwave. It will dissolve a little more.
Yeah.
And you're using all of 1 cup for the top layer and the bottom. Okay. So it's not bad. So you could even spread it on like this. Then we're going to sprinkle on just a few. We're not going to use that much. Just a couple, maybe a tablespoon of mini chocolate chips. And then we've taken our graham crumbs.
My hands went crazy. I'm sorry.
Put them in a baggie and just. Oh, yeah, she did put a lot on there.
Yeah, sorry about that.
All right, and just put
follow her instructions.
Some crumbs on like this.
Yeah.
Isn't that, and no, I mean, there's nothing added to. There's no oil. Then we're going to take our second layer
and make a sandwich.
And voila, we're going to put this on like this.
And then do I put more on?
You got it. Put that on.
Oh, and
I'm going to breathe heavy on this to warm it up here.
Nice and hot.
Okay,
and
all nice and warm. And then as you put this in the refrigerator later, the marshmallow starts to just soften up. Go over the sides a little bit like it's happening over there.
Right.
And when I created this is going to be, actually, it's a new book coming out next fall. This is one of my special treats because in the end, we all want to have a real treat. All right, so
well, it's not about the deprivation because you know what? If you always feel like you're being deprived,
right.
You will fall off that wagon so hard.
You will, and you can't. I'm just spraying it with a little bit of vegetable oil, but you're absolutely right.
Spread a bit.
People who tell me, Rose, I went on this diet, I cut out all the sugar. I cut out, no!
I've done it before. I've done them all, Rose.
You can do it, and every
I've done them all.
registered dietitians will tell you have to, but if you do, you'll end up binging.
Yeah, you will end up. So we'll put a little bit of this.
Yeah.
This is just,
she was good that time.
So fun.
Isn't that fun, though?
Yeah, this is great.
You got to make this cake.
Okay,
Voila,
so now we have our final
s'mores
chocolate layer cake. And okay, you tell me what a proper.
All right, so this is a double layer cake. Okay, so you get this much. No. You know, and I had frozen this. Was it still a little hard?
That's okay.
All right,
like this.
Yes, that's about it.
Okay.
And you know what? You might think that's a little stingy, but you'll be shocked that if you eat well, again, have a proper dinner. Start off with a soup, a salad, a main course. You're not going to finish the whole cake.
Or you can just skip the dinner like I sometimes do and just have this.
Look at that. Look how nice. So that looks like a traditional chocolate cake that you'd get in a restaurant, but at a quarter the calories.
Good stuff. Good tips.
Right?
All online, cityline.ca. Let's go to break. We've got more coming up.